Welcome back. Today's video is about artificial insemination, and in this video we are going to discuss about some of the terminologies, followed by what is the definition, the types of artificial insemination, and what are the indications for artificial insemination, and in types, what are the male factors, female factors, and what are the differences between the types of artificial insemination. And in part of RMP, what are the precautions he need to adopt when he sought a artificial insemination method, and the legal issues that arise as a result of artificial insemination, the procedures, the procedure protocol, and followed by the medical legal importance of the artificial insemination has been discussed in this video in detail. And before going to the actual presentation, we need to be familiar with those terminologies listed here. And first and foremost is the word is homologous, and the word homologous means where the semen is collected or preserved from the husband that has been used for artificial insemination. And the word donor is the person who donates the spermatozoa, and the recipient is the person who receives the spermatozoa. Here the recipient and the commissioning couple are almost homologous or almost synonym to the terminology who is applying for artificial insemination and the beneficiary couples in other terms. And the word pooled semen, it means that in process of artificial insemination where there has been a mixture of both the donor and the husband sperm has been mixed together, and followed by it has been implemented to the recipient woman. And the word semen blank or otherwise synonymous sperm bank, where it provides a facility to collect and to store and to process human spermatozoa for the purpose of artificial insemination. And the words like in vitro, in vivo need to know. And coming to the word posthumous, and relating to artificial insemination where the recipient couple's husband has died, and a process that occurs after the death of the recipient husband, then the process is posthumous artificial insemination. And the word consanguinity, it means individuals of blood relative are getting married to each other. And the word oligospermia, it means that there have been insufficient or a less amount of spermatozoa in the semen that has been collected. And incest, it means a sexual intercourse or a sexual relationship between biologically related persons. And the word biological child, it means that a child that is born through the normal process of sexual intercourse or the normalcy, right? And the word altruistic, it means that where a person who has an affection towards a commissioning couple or the individual without any selfishness being ready to accept artificial insemination. And the definition of artificial insemination, it means that a process of introduction of sperm or a semen from the husband or from a donor by any instrument into the vagina or the uterus of a female to bring about pregnancy, which is not attainable by the normal sexual intercourse. Artificial insemination, and here it could be of homologous or artificial insemination through donor, artificial insemination with a combination of homologous and the donor, right? The homologous, otherwise husband, right, where the semen of the husband is being used, and in case of donor, it is from the donor and the recipient use, and here it is other than the husband that has been used. And the third entity where it is a combination of homologous or the husband and the donor, and the word is pooled semen, nothing but mixture of both semen of the husband as well as the donor that has been implemented where the process of pregnancy continues in. Coming to indications of artificial insemination. These are the indications for artificial insemination through homologous or the husband. and here the male factors and the female factors which governs, and in resulting to male factors where there be a history of erectile dysfunction, where an husband can't perform a normal sexual intercourse, or otherwise he is being suffering from some sort of physical anomaly in form of elephantiasis, epispadiasis, hypospadiasis, or there been a localized collection of fluid within scrotal sac, hydrocele, or he been suffering from penile or scrotal tumors, or any other physiological abnormalities like retrograde ejaculation, and where if a male cannot consume the marriage, and where artificial insemination by homologous has been adopted in. And the third most male factors where husband is being dead, and in past where an spermatozoa that has been stored in semen bank that has been used for artificial insemination. So, and relating to female factors where female suffers from cervical stenosis or persistent cervicitis, or been suffering from scanty or otherwise unreceptive mucus, and where this process of artificial insemination through homologous can be adopted. Indications for artificial insemination through donor, and these are the indications where husband is being sterile, or otherwise husband is suffering from some hereditary disease, or otherwise wife is being allergic or isoimmunized to husband's sperm, or otherwise in case of a male where he has been suffering from HIV or hepatitis B infections, or the demanding person being a woman being unmarried or a widow, or the last rarest possibility of lesbian couples. And regarding artificial insemination, homologous or by donor, where the pooled semen is being used, and one such indication is being oligospermia. And in oligospermia is nothing but insufficiency or insufficient spermatozoa in semen. And it can be categorized into three: mild, moderate, and severe. And in mild forms, where the concentration is between 10 to 20 million sperm per ml, and in moderate 5 to 10 million, and in severe form where there have been only less than 5 million sperms per ml of semen. And again, AIHD, where oligospermia is one of the most common indication. And here one such benefit where husband thinks that by using or by sorting a pooled semen, he believes that his child or by his process or his spermatozoa is being fertilized, and he get some sort of psychological relief when you compare to artificial donor, right? Where only the donor spermatozoa that has been used, where husband suffers from some psychological disorders in later part of artificial insemination process. And coming to differentiating features between artificial insemination, homologous, and donor. And first and foremost criteria where husband's spermatozoa is being used, and in case of artificial donor, other than the donor spermatozoa that has been used. And regarding the consent, where in homologous, where you need a consent from the husband and the wife, right? The commissioning couple is sufficient. But in case of artificial insemination through donor, where commissioning couples need to give a consent, as well as the donor and his wife need to give a consent. And regarding preconditions, nothing. But in case of an artificial insemination donor, where a donor should have an own child in past. And own child doesn't mean only own child. It should be health-wise normal, not suffering from any hereditary disease or any other diseased condition or diseased states. Regarding characteristic features, here nothing. But in case of artificial donor, where the age of the individual should be less than 45 years and belonging to the same race as the husband, and closely resembles to the husband in physique features. Physique in the height and other features. Regarding disclosure of the identity, and in case of homologous, where both persons, right, husband and wife are involving in, right? So both of them know each other, so no issue. Only thing we need to disclose from the public. But in case of artificial insemination through donor, where the donor and the recipient should not know, and even the public should not know. All right. So purely relating to confidentiality of the entire proceeding. And outcome, husband knows obviously, but in case here, the outcome should not be disclosed to the donor and as well as the public. And comparing here the other, right, psychological issues, where this process, where there will be less of psychological issues or no, but in case of artificial insemination through donor, where the female as well as the husband may suffer from, right, because they can't result in a they can't conceive the marriage, or they can't raise the legal heirs, so they suffer from some psychological disorders, and where post counseling and other are required. And these are the precautions that need to be adopted when an individual or when a RMP sorts the method of artificial insemination. Here, the first and foremost precautions are relating to consent or towards the legal implications of the process. Essential requests for the consent. What are the features that a donor should pursue? And regarding the couple, the witness, and the delivery. The consent, and the donor, recipient, their spouse, the consent obtaining. Here again, it is an informed written consent is necessary, and here the identities are being shielded from each other, right? And a physician is being the only link between the donor and the recipient, right? And where identity should not be disclosed to each other, and better it should be a third party, right, who doesn't know the entire process, right? And physician acts as a shield between donor and recipient. Regarding the essential request of a donor, where a donor should not suffer from any sort of an RS incompatibility between cross matching with the commissioning couples, and he should not suffer from any familial disorders, hereditary disorders, and sexually transmitted disorder. And the donor should have completed his family, and no chromosomal issues in studies. And for example, if a donor being used, some sperm is being used, it should not be used to produce more than 10 children. If it has been used, then it can almost result in consanguineous marriage in later point of time, or an incest between the children that are raised through artificial insemination. And other essential request as a part where the donor should belong to the same blood group of the husband, right? And matching the physical characteristic features and other. And by this descriptive images, and our intention is not to disgrace any of the races, right? It is only for the lecture point of view and for better understanding, right? Physical characteristic features, and a race should match each other as possible, right? And again, it is not for discriminating by color or another. And for example, these are the recipient family, and they can't perform, and they can't even after it can result in a true pregnancy, and they adopt a method of artificial insemination. And here in case, right, a white couple or a white donor can't be a donor, and it will not result in a, and it will not match the physical characteristic features of a race, and where there will be a dispute in later point of time. And by matching the features, obviously the donor too, right, where he has completed his family and almost resembling the race of the recipient couple, and again the donor too family will be the appropriate family to be a donor. And precautions like there should not be any physical relationship between the couples and the donor and the recipient family, and psychologically fit and emotionally stable, and a donor age should not be greater than 45 years, and presence of witness is mandatory. Delivery should not be conducted by the person who has processed or who has performed artificial insemination, and if he has been used, he may know the parenthood of the child. So the delivery should be done by the third party or the other doctor, and a written declaration to be obtained from the donor that he should not claim the parenthood of the child in near future. And these are the precautionary measures that need to be adopted. And regarding the procedure where semen has been obtained by masturbation after a weeks of abstinence, or other one like electric stimulators, sperm condom can be used to collect the semen from the donor. And 1 ml has been deposited by means of a sterile syringe just above the internal os at the time of ovulation. And the semen to be implanted is to be washed in the laboratory in a concentrated harms F10 media without L-glutamine and warmed up to 37 Celsius. And other sperm like ependymal sperm aspiration and microsurgical or percutaneous method or other methods by which the sperm can be retrieved from the donor. And TISA, TC or other methods also can be adopted. TISA is nothing but testicular sperm aspiration. TC is testicular sperm extraction. These are the methods by which the semen can be collected from the donor or otherwise from the homologous husband. And here, in case where a woman's menstrual cycle to be observed properly, and by recording the basal body temperature changes that have been noted in vaginal mucosa, ovulation kits, ultrasound, that test will be the other entity by which we can fix the exact date of ovulation, where an ovum and the spermatozoa may survive for up to 24 hours without fertilization. And by monitoring these features, we can exactly correlate with the maximum fertility chances, and by which it can result in a pregnancy in later point. And more efficient method of artificial insemination is to insert the sperm directly into the woman's uterus, and the success rate of artificial insemination vary depending upon the types of insemination that has been used, methods adopted, and the typical success rate varies between 5 to 30%. And other factors even, right? For example, there being a stress being an issue, and the quality of egg and the sperm are the other governing factors which affects the success rate of the artificial insemination. The medical legal aspects relating to artificial insemination, where the practice of artificial makes many infertile couples happy, and in insemination with an husband sperm is justifiable, but artificial insemination through donor generally is not been accepted and socially not recognized. And there is no any statutory law in India for artificial insemination as yet. Only the national guidelines that have been framed up by ICMR is being adopted by fertility. And regarding the medical legal implications, danger of litigations, and here litigations can arise as a part of negligence or performing, or which has resulted in ill health on the recipient, or a process that has been adopted without the consent of the husband, or there is a lack of consent, or where the doctor fails to record a consent and fail to document, where it can result in a litigation in later point of time. And even the screening process of a donor, which is not being properly done, where a donor has been suffering from some sort of sexual disorders like HIV, hepatitis B, and where the screening process is not processed, where the recipient, a female, has acquired the infection, then there will be a litigation and negligence in point of doctor that has been proved. Then he can be issuing a penal erasure based on the crime that has been committed. Regarding the confidentiality, any information of this both client as well as the donor, right, or other in other terms like commissioning couple and the donor couple should be kept confidential, and nothing should be leaked through the public, and where the records relating should be kept in lock and key, and the person who is involved in should have only the access. Rest other people are denied from accessing those documents. And regarding the nullity of marriage and divorce, where the father is not the actual father, and obviously child become illegitimate, and there is no any guideline, or there is only the guideline, there is no any legal sanction, and in a later point of time where there has been a dispute arising within the family, then the child can't inherit the property, and these are the drawbacks where there is no statutory law that been existing. And if a consensual artificial insemination has been adopted, then the legitimacy issue is not occurring. And as a process where artificial insemination again is not a ground for divorce, if a process that has been adopted as a result of impotency or otherwise there has been no consent, without the consent of the husband the process has occurred, then again it can lead to a judicial suppression or a divorce, or otherwise even nullity of marriage can be adopted. And regarding adultery is nothing but an offense, and where a married woman regarding who is adopting artificial insemination can't be charged as an adultery, and only when act that has been performed without the consent of the husband, it can result to a ground of divorce or legal separation. And regarding incest, where a risk of incestuous relationship can occur between the offsprings born through artificial insemination. So that is the reason why where a single donor should not yield, so right, should be less than the 10 children or 10 offsprings can be adopted, not more than that. And point number 7, towards natural birth versus artificial insemination of donor, where status remains legitimate, but the artificial insemination through donor still remains illegitimate until a law that has been passed in. And psychosocial aspects, where artificial more towards artificial insemination through donor, and where husband may have an incapability and need to keep the secrecy, and even he suffers from psychosocial issues in later point of time. And even out of the curiosity of the offspring that has been exhibited, where the female and the husband need to know the donor because their offspring is extremely talented, and they want to know the donor, or again they want to acquire a same child or acquire a child through the same donor, and these are the psychosocial issues that can arise in later point of time. And even when they approach the doctor, and the doctor should not disclose the identity of the donor. And relating to point number 9, posthumous artificial insemination through homologous, and if a stored semen or a spermatozoa that has been stored in semen bank, that can be used and to make a legitimate child, and notwithstanding right the existing law of presumptions under section 112 of Indian Evidence Act says that when a child that has been born after 280 days of the death of the husband is, if a child is born after the time, then the child is considered to be illegitimate, and again there should be law governing, and it should be formulated properly to make the legal status of the child. And the rights of the child born, and as per the guideline, right, the donor gametes shall not have pursue all rights whatsoever to know the identity and the chances of divorce during gestational period, and as the law pertaining to the normal consumption shall apply. Thank you so much for your patient listening. If there have been doubts, query relating to the content of the video, kindly address those issues in comment section below, or there are any social media links provided in description section. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you.